I'm so excited right now because I am actually going back to my roots, to the video that I think I owe the majority of my YouTube success to, which I posted probably a year and a half ago. I think it was my first very specific book trope recommendation video, and it was titled I Hate Everyone in the World But You, Romance Book Recommendations. It did really well. I think it's one of the most viewed videos on my channel right now, and I wanted to pay a little homage, is that even the word, to that video and do a part 2. I love the trope. Obviously you guys seem to love the trope. I just want to go back to the OG Steph Bohrer, how it all began, with a very specific trope recommendation. So this is going to be I Hate Everyone in the World But You book recommendations that are a lot better than the ones in that first video, because that first video was like obviously one of my first book recommendations. Okay, before we get into this book recs, I want to talk about the sponsor of today's video, which is glassesusa.com. You guys know I love them. I talk about them a lot. I wear their glasses every single day. Even if I wasn't sponsored, I would still be wearing these because I love them so much. I get a lot of questions about where my glasses are from, and I have a link in the description that will take you directly to like my favorite glasses all put together in one organized folder on their website. But yeah, so these are the pairs I wear actually every single day. They're like my favorite staples. I'll have the name of what they are on the screen, and I found these from doing the virtual try-on feature on glassesusa.com's website. You can take a video of your face and a picture of your face and it will fit glasses to you. And then there's also one that if you're too indecisive, it's like a quiz that will like pick glasses for you. And because I love these so much, I wanted to find ones that were like kind of similar to these, but these are plastic and I wanted to find like metal ones. And then I found these, and these are just like even more subtle than those. Like they're one of those glasses that it's like it doesn't get in the way of your face. Like you can do your makeup and then wear these glasses and it's not like interrupting the look, you know? So I'm a really big fan of these actually. But I get all of mine with my prescription, obviously, because I'm actually very unable to see without them. But a lot of my friends, I put them on Glasses USA because I have a 65% off discount code. So like obviously you should go get some glasses. Like, you can get like the in-house brands. You can also get designer like Ray-Bans for 65% off. So my friends that don't need a prescription, I was like, you can still get blue light glasses because they offer that as well on their website. And like not only can you get blue light glasses, you can also get sunglasses, Ray-Bans, designer like sunglasses that are really nice. Like I got my first pair of Ray-Bans from glassesusa.com. These are nice. Like 65% off. So you should definitely check out the links in the description if you want that discount. If you need sunglasses, eyeglasses, or if you just want some cute blue light glasses, glassesusa.com comes in clutch. But yeah, thank you so much Glasses USA for sponsoring today's video. And without further ado, let's just get right in the I Hate Everyone in the World But You book recommendation. Just got a phone call and got distracted. I think I switched glasses. I don't even know. It's been like 40 minutes. I'm back though to start talking about these books. What was I even saying? Oh, so I've been compiling this list of books over like a really long time, since whenever my last specific trope recommendation was. But with that being said, I do reading wrap-ups at the end of every single month where I go into detail every single book I've read. So I've already talked about like every single book I've ever read, obviously, because I do those videos. So if you're like, you've already talked about that book, yes, I'm not like reading any books specifically for these videos anymore. It's just a direct place you can go when you're looking for a very specific trope, and they're all in one place for you. That's what this is gonna be. I'm gonna be recommending a bunch of books today that have this trope. I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory. One of the characters is just like really closed off, hence I hate everyone in the world but you, and they have a soft spot for the one person. First, I want to talk about the Dreamland Billionaire series by Lauren Asher. So far there's 2 books out, The Fine Print and Terms and Conditions. I think that both of these books have this trope. The first one is Workplace Grumpy Sunshine, and the second one is Fake Dating Grumpy Sunshine, but they're both I Hate Everyone in the World But You. There's literally a specific quote, I'm really gonna find it actually, that says, "Who knew you were such a nice guy underneath your grumpy exterior?" And then he goes, "Don't go telling anyone else or they'll be disappointed to find out it's only for you." And then she thinks, "Looks like the reporter was right and Declan does have a soft spot for me after all." That quote, like, it just proves to me I hate everyone in the world but you. The guy's very closed off, and they're brothers with some trauma. They're really rich. I think if you like this trope, you'll like this series. Okay, then another series is the Mindfuck series. This is like not your typical romance. It's like fucking crazy. It's about an FBI agent who falls in love with a serial killer as he's researching her case, but he doesn't know it's her. Okay, so they fall in love as she's murdering people, and he's trying to find this murderer, and he doesn't know it's literally his girlfriend. Except she has so much trauma, and like she's been through so much, and there's a reason why she's doing this and a specific like MO. You're kind of rooting for her throughout the book. It's in both perspectives. She's the one that literally hates everyone, but she has like reason, like rightfully so, but she also is like, does that really justify murder? No. But once you find out what happened to her, you're like, oh my god, I kind of see why she did all that. I like the romance aspect, but I was more like into it for the plot and like the suspense, because like every single chapter ended on a cliffhanger where I was like, oh my god, is she about to get caught, or is he about to find out? What is he gonna do when he finds out? Oh my god, she's killing someone. Like all this stuff was happening as they're also falling in love, so it was like very entertaining. It's a 5-book series, but all the books are so short that there's like a bind up of all 5 that's like a pretty thick book. If you're in a reading slump, read the Mindfuck series because it will immediately pull you out of your reading slump because it is addicting. Oh my god. But like, yeah, the romance is obviously I Hate Everyone in the World But You, but it's like reversed because it's like her and usually it's the guy. Okay, the next book is The Air He Breathes by Brittany C. Cherry, which is basically a small town romance where a single mom lost her husband and she's like grieving and sad, and she moves to this house in this small town, and everyone in the town is like, oh my god, you move next to Tristan, he's such a freak, he's literally a weirdo, stay away from him, he's dangerous, all this that. She's like, oh, every interaction I've ever had with him, like he just seems like a normal guy, like I'm kind of intrigued by him because he's very closed off and very grumpy. They start talking because they're neighbors, but he's like very mean to her at first, and then she's like, what is wrong with you? But then you see that he kind of has a soft spot for her. It's in both perspectives, and you find out why he is the way he is and why he literally hates everyone and kind of everyone hates him and thinks he's crazy. He is actually closed off from the entire world besides her and her child. And I feel like this story was 2 people that were like grieving and really sad and depressed, finding each other and like helping each other because they're both going through similar situations. Similar to that is Redeemed by Lauren Asher. Basically, the main guy went through something really tragic accident and it changed his entire life, and now he is basically a hermit, like lives in a house away from everyone he knows. He doesn't see anyone. He used to be famous. Now he's wanting to stay out of the spotlight. He's kind of embarrassed. He's living alone, not leaving his house, and then one day this girl like low-key breaks into his house by accident. It's a whole story, and she's like super happy and cute. He's like the opposite of that. Basically, a situation happens where they end up having to start fake dating. So it's fake dating trope. I just loved this book so much because he went from being like this super cocky, arrogant guy to experiencing this like horrible accident and like this trauma, and now he has like no self-confidence and he's just like a shell of who he used to be. And then you watch him like slowly gain his confidence back from being with this girl, and I loved it, and it was my favorite book in the Dirty Air series. Next is Things He Never Got Over. I just realized I had this book right next to me because I was looking through it if I wanted to annotate anything in it. Again, it's a small town romance where this girl runs away from her wedding, moves to this small town, and when she gets there, everyone is calling her by the wrong name and she's so confused, and then she realizes it's because her twin sister used to live in this town, but like everyone hates her twin sister, and her twin sister's like actually off the rails and like just so mean, so everyone keeps thinking she's the twin, and she's like, I swear I'm not like her, we're literally opposites in every way. She meets this guy who's like so mean to her at first because again he thinks she's the sister. He is super closed off. He lives in like the middle of the woods by himself, and his brother is more of like the happy sunshine guy, and his brother starts talking to this girl, and then the other brother starts getting jealous, and it's like, it's not a love triangle though, and he's just really intrigued by her because she's going through so much. She recently had to take custody of her niece, and like her whole life changed in like a span of a week, and he ends up letting her live in the guest house on his property, so it's forced proximity. I feel like he's just very much like closed off, as a lot of these male characters are. I really liked this book. I gave it 5 stars. So, and then a book that reminds me of is Bad Intentions by Charlie Rose. This is similar in the way that a girl who has been through a lot of trauma in her life and basically has custody of her younger brother is forced to move in with her dad, who she's like barely ever talked to in her life, and they move to this small town. She gets a job working at this bar, and next to the bar is a tattoo shop where this guy works who's like super grumpy and closed off, and just like all the rest of the guys I just talked about. But you can tell like right off the bat he has a soft spot for her. He doesn't like act on it, but there's so much tension between them. He's really protective over her. He ends up hiring her. She needs extra money, so then they're working together. She's kind of has this whole past that he's slowly finding out about and like trying to protect her from, and he gives very much I Hate Everyone in the World But You vibes. He has like one friend. He owns the tattoo shop and he just minds his business until her. So next is The Twisted series by Anna Huang. I've only read the first 2 books, but I feel like both of them kind of fit this trope. The first one is brother's best friend trope, but he's just like really mean to her, and the second one is bodyguard trope where he's just super like closed off. Obviously, I don't think they're I Hate Everyone in the World But You, but I think if you like that trope, you'll like this series, you know? That's the same with the Royal Hearts Academy series by A. Jade. First one is childhood friends to enemies to lovers, and the second one's like kind of a bully romance. I think they both fit that trope as well, again with the guy. It's always the guy, except I'm also going to talk about Full Tilt by Emma Scott, which is the girl. She's like a rock star. She's going through a really rough time, like getting involved in like some sketchy stuff, and she meets this really sweet boy named Jonah, and it's their romance, and it's actually like reverse. Like she's kind of the one that's like closed off from everyone. Oh, I love this. It's a duet and it's so good. And then the second book in this series, it's I Hate Everyone in the World but for a different reason. She's like grieving, and very, very good. Definitely recommend. And that reminds me, my recommendation video after this, I'm going to be doing Soft Boy, like good boy boy bad girl trope, which that book fits under, so stay tuned for that. I'm so excited. It's one of my favorite tropes ever. Okay, next is Marriage for One. This book is marriage convenience. A rich guy marries this girl because of like a business deal, kind of. They both agree on it, and he treats it like a business transaction for so long, and then you slowly see him getting a soft spot for her, and so good. I loved the build-up in this book. It's definitely slow burn, but worth it. That is gonna be all the books I talk about in this video. There's not as many as I thought I would have, but that's because I haven't really been on like the enemies to lovers or grumpy sunshine kick recently. I'm more on like, I've been reading actually like more, I don't want to say healthy relationship books, but like books that don't have that trope. Like they're actually like normal people that don't hate everyone. I hope you enjoyed nonetheless. I hope you got good book recommendations. I hope you liked having another specific trope video, and there's definitely gonna be more to come. I've been compiling lists for like months and months that are slowly building up without me like forcing myself to build them. So that's gonna be the end of today's video. If you want to follow me on my other social medias, they're all linked down below as always, as well as the link to glassesusa.com, so you can check out my glasses. I'll see you in my next video very, very soon. Bye.